The next Ford Mustang could be just 2 to 3 years away. Up until now, we thought it was 5 to 6 years out. Hi, my name is Eric, and I make videos on future cars and trucks. If that's interesting to you, consider subscribing and joining the Discord chat link down below. Stay tuned for later in this video because Dodge just did a commercial with this guy. It's a promo for the upcoming Fast and Furious movie, and there is a rather hellish engine in there which is making its way into a new vehicle, and I'm going to tell you which one. The current Mustang, commonly referred to as the S650, has been around since 2015. Now, it's the first time that all production version Mustangs have had an independent rear suspension, and there was a pretty significant styling change away from the S197, which was the previous generation. That was kind of retro styling, and the new generation, the current generation, is much more futuristic and I would even dare say European.
The legendary engine this Mustang GT has is its most powerful V8 ever.
And of course, everyone loves the Coyote engine, the 5.0 liter. It makes a lot of power, and there's been continual power bumps all the way through its current evolution. Now, I got some thoughts on why Ford is moving to this new platform, apparently prematurely, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. Now, of course, the Mustang is one of the most popular sports cars ever, if not the most popular sports car ever. It's been around since the mid-60s, and to date, over 10 million Mustangs have been produced. One of the things that makes it so popular, at least the current generation, is the Coyote engine is able to make 700, 800, 900 horsepower on the stock block, the stock bottom end, without any real difficulties. So over at Mustang6G.com, which you should definitely go and check out, there's a user by the name of AMK91, and he found this listing on LinkedIn for a Ford engineer position. Be part of the proud team to deliver Ford and Lincoln quality to the current generation Mustang S650 and be the final sign-off on the Ford 2023 Mustang S650 vehicle before it goes to consumers. So what exactly is this position? You will have primary responsibility for delivering road, noise, and air leakage and work with a strong team of other Ford PVT engineers. PVT is Plant Vehicle Team. Now, if that's not enough for you, there's even more detail in this posting, and it was also posted on the Ford job boards. This is coming right off the Ford website. I think this is I would say this is a pretty reliable source. On-site lead for wind, noise, road, and air leakage attributes when S650 launches in 2022 as a 2023 model year. So that is just 2 years away, maybe 2.5 years away before we're gonna see the launch. And of course, we should expect to see spy vehicles cruising around in the not too distant future. I would say maybe as early as 1 year out. And for all we know, there actually might already be powertrain mules driving around. It's just hard to say because there obviously are spy vehicles or test vehicles, excuse me, driving around all the time, but it could look like the current generation Mustang. But if they're making updates to the powertrain, they could be stuffing that powertrain into a current generation Mustang. I'm not saying that that's what we have seen, but you know, anything's possible. Now, of course, Ford has not commented on this. They say they do not comment on future vehicles. So, of course, you got to take everything with a bit of a grain of salt. I see people commenting in this video and others that I'm not using official verified sources. Well, yeah, of course not. These are not official verified things by Ford yet or any other manufacturer. We are dealing with rumors, we're dealing with insiders and speculation. So everything, you should take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. So you're probably familiar with this, but Ford has said they are going to stop small car, in fact, car production in North America completely. Europe is still going to get some pretty cool cars like the Focus and the Focus ST, but in North America, you know that the general trend in the auto industry is to move to bigger vehicles like SUVs and CUVs. The one car, of course, that they are continuing to build is the Mustang. So the future Mustang is gonna ride on a platform called the CD6. It's a scalable architecture, which means they're gonna be able to build different vehicles on it. Currently, the new 2020 Ford Explorer rides on this platform, and also the Aviator. Why has Ford decided to move up the production of the next generation Mustang? So here's my theory, and remember, this is just a theory, and of course, this is the Ford HR department that posted this listing, so what the engineers say and what Ford management has to say about the next generation Mustang, this could obviously change. But my theory is that Ford, of course, is moving to electrification. We've got the Mustang Mach-E. Yeah, I hate the name, but I'm over it right now. And we are pretty sure that a future Mustang is going to have some sort of hybridization. So if they're going to move to a hybrid Mustang, it actually makes a lot of sense to move over to the CD6 platform, because this platform is going to be designed with battery packs in mind. It would be a lot easier than taking the current generation Mustang and sort of retrofitting battery packs and trying to squeeze them in. It makes a lot more sense to start with fresh architecture. And obviously there is a big EV push in the industry right now, so it sort of makes sense to migrate over the Mustang to the new platform earlier rather than later. It's going to save them money in the long run, even though there will be some upfront cost. Stick around for after the break, because if you are a fan of the Dodge Hellcat engine, they're putting it in a new vehicle, and I'm going to tell you which one and how much it's going to cost and when we can expect to see the debut. Dodge released this trailer to tie in with the new Fast and Furious 9. It's called Dodge House of Power, The Fast Saga. In this video, you can see a fender with a logo, but not any logo, a Hellcat logo. So when you see the Hellcat logo, you are thinking 6.2 liter supercharged V8 making somewhere between 700 horsepower, 717. There's variants that go up a little bit higher than that. So we're talking about a big horsepower engine stuffed into an SUV. So I'd love to play some of the Dominic Toretto voiceover for you, but I would get a copyright strike because there is copyrighted music in this trailer. However, what do we know? What can we infer from this video? So looking at the fender, I think it's pretty safe to assume that this is not a Challenger or a Charger. And we can look at the fender gap, and this is way bigger than a car. This looks pretty much like a truck to me. Now you say, hey Eric, what about the Ram 1500? Could it go into this? Well, if you look at the Ram 1500, the fenders do look substantially different than what we get in this video. If you look at the Durango, this is the fender that I think matches most closely to this Hellcat logo. So I think it's pretty clear. I wouldn't exactly call this a leak. I would call this an announcement, kind of on par with the Porsche GT3 being accidentally leaked in the Super Bowl commercial. That was actually a pretty cool looking car. But also Motor Authority claims that they have an inside source who has confirmed the reveal, or rather the release of this, and it may be coming pretty soon. But why put it in the Durango? I've got a theory in that. We're going to get to it in just a second. But what about the pricing of this thing? In the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, we've got this Hellcat engine making 707 horsepower, and it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which, by the way, is the same transmission that is used in the Supra. In fact, the 8 HP transmission is used in a whole host of cars. It's incredibly popular, so interesting bit of trivia there. It's got a 2.3 liter supercharger, a single active transfer case, and a limited slip rear differential. 0 to 60 about 3.5 seconds, quarter mile, mid 11s. The cheapest I was able to configure it online was $88,600. Let's just call it $89,000. So it's a pretty expensive SUV. So right now, the Dodge Durango SRT comes with a 6.4 liter naturally aspirated engine. It makes 475 horsepower, 470 pounds-feet of torque, same 8-speed automatic transmission, and that comes in at quite a bit less money. It's at $64,000. So why is it going into the Durango? Well, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is actually coming to an end. So Jeep has been out testing the 2021 Grand Cherokee, and it's going to be based on a completely different platform for the first time. It's going to be based on the same platform as the Stelvio and the Alfa Giulia, which is, by the way, a fantastic platform. It's very stiff. I really like it. So we're moving away from the current platform, and that means that there's going to be a 2021 model of the Grand Cherokee. I'll be covering that. Let me know if you want me to cover that. But there's going to be a pause in the Hellcat version of the Grand Cherokee. So it makes a lot of sense for them to have a Hellcat in an SUV and sort of carry that over while they get into the new Grand Cherokee and start building up that model line. So let me know down below if you would consider buying this over the Trackhawk. And also, I think we're gonna see this probably announced at the New York Auto Show, which is gonna be April 8th and 9th, at least the press days will. I'm gonna be there. There's 2 videos on screen right now. Pick one if you want more automotive future news. My name is Eric. I will see you in the next video.